Good day, everyone. We'll be having our multiple choice examination review for mythology and folklore, focusing on the stories of love. Kindly get your pen and paper and write the answer. Wait for the 10 seconds time allotment, and afterwards, we will reveal the key to correction and for you to check if your answers are correct. First question. I will be reading the questions once and will be giving the options. You are given once again 10 seconds to guess your response. And afterwards, after all the questions had been given, we will be revealing the key to correction to check if your answers are correct. Who is the nymph cursed by Hera to only repeat words of earnest? A. Echo. B. Narcissus. C. Hera. D. Zeus. Next question. Who is the beautiful youth who fell in love with his reflection? A. Echo. B. Narcissus. C. Hera. D. Zeus. Next question. What punishment did Nemesis, the god of revenge, inflict on Narcissus? A. Made him fall in love with his own reflection. B. Turned him into a stone. C. Trapped him in a mirror. D. Made him deaf. Next question. What did Echo do when Narcissus rejected her love? A. Cried until she disappeared. B. Cursed him to never find love. C. Consoled herself in solitude. D. Became his loyal companion. Next, what is the moral of the story of Echo and Narcissus? A. Love can be both beautiful and destructive. B. Vanity leads to self-destruction. C. True love conquers all. D. Revenge is a powerful force. Next question. Who is the sculptor in the story of Pygmalion and Galatea? A. Pygmalion. B. Galatea. C. Aphrodite. D. Zeus. What material did Pygmalion use to create his sculpture? A. Marble. B. Gold. C. Clay. D. Wood. What happened when Pygmalion kissed his sculpture? A. It became or it came to life. B. It turned into a real woman. C. It crumbled into pieces. D. Nothing happened. What name did Pygmalion give to his living sculpture? A. Athena. B. Aphrodite. C. Galatea. D. Helen. What is the main theme of the story of Pygmalion and Galatea? A. The power of love in art. B. The consequences of vanity. C. The importance of loyalty. D. The dangers of ambition. In the story of Pyramus and Thisbe, what is the main obstacle preventing the lovers from being together? A. A rival suitor. B. A curse from the gods. C. A forbidden wall. D. A treacherous journey. How do Pyramus and Thisbe communicate with each other despite their families' disapproval? A. Through secret letters. B. Through secret code. C. Through a small hole in the wall. D. Through a messenger. What tragic event occurs when Pyramus believes Thisbe has been killed? A. Pyramus takes his own life. B. Thisbe takes his own life. C. Pyramus and Thisbe both take their own lives. D. They decide to run away together. What is the symbolic significance of the mulberry tree in the story? A. It represents forbidden love. B. It represents eternal love. C. It represents tragedy and sorrow. D. It represents hope and reconciliation. What is the moral lesson of the story of Pyramus and Thisbe? A. True love can overcome all obstacles. B. Communication is the key in relationships. C. Forbidden love leads to tragedy. D. Trust is essential in love. Who is the god involved in the story of Apollo and Hyacinth? A. Zeus. B. Apollo. C. Poseidon. D. Hermes. What is the relationship between Apollo and Hyacinth? A. Father and son. B. Brothers. C. Cousins. D. Friends. How did Hyacinth die in the story? A. He was struck by a lightning bolt. B. He drowned in the sea. C. He was bitten by a snake. D. He fell from a cliff. What flower is said to have grown from the blood of the hyacinth? A. Lily. B. Rose. C. Hyacinth. D. Iris. What did Apollo create to honor Hyacinth after his death? A. A statue. B. A poem. C. A song. D. A constellation. Who were Alcyone and Ceyx in Greek mythology? A. Gods of the sea. B. Mortal lovers. C. Rival kings. D. Siblings. What happened to Ceyx when he embarked on a dangerous sea voyage? A. He was lost at sea. B. He became a king. C. He was transformed into a bird. D. He discovered a hidden treasure. Which goddess took pity on Alcyon's grief and transformed her into a bird? A. Aphrodite. B. Artemis. C. Hero. D. Zeus. Which bird is Alcyone transformed into the story? A. Swan. B. Dove. C. Albatross. D. Kingfisher. What is the symbolic significance of Alcyone in Sage's story? A. Power of love and devotion. B. The consequence of arrogance. C. The importance of friendship. D. The dangers of explanation. What was Elvis known for in the story? A. His exceptional hunting skills. B. His extraordinary musical talent. C. His bravery in battle. D. His expertise in farming. How did Eurydice die in the story? A. She was bitten by a snake. B. She drowned in a river. C. She fell from a cliff. D. She was struck by lightning. What did Orpheus do to try bring Eurydice back from the dead? A. Made her a deal with Hades. B. Sought help from Zeus. C. Consulted with the sorcerer. D. Built a time machine. What condition did Hades give Orpheus when he agreed to let Eurydice return to the living world? A. Orpheus must never look back at Eurydice. B. Orpheus must give up his musical talent. C. Orpheus must sacrifice his own life. D. Orpheus must forget about Eurydice. How did the story of Orpheus and Eurydice end? A. Orpheus successfully brought Eurydice back to life. B. Orpheus and Eurydice live happily ever after. C. Orpheus failed to bring Eurydice back and lost her forever. D. Orpheus and Eurydice became rulers of the underworld. What was Artemis known for in the story? A. Her skill in archery. B. Her wisdom in the battle strategies. C. Her talent in poetry. D. Her ability to shape shift. How did Orion meet Artemis in the story? A. They were childhood friends. B. Orion saved Artemis from a wild animal. C. Artemis sought Orion's help in a quest. D. They met during a hunting competition. Why did Artemis and Orion's relationship face challenges? A. Artemis was jealous of Orion's hunting skills. B. Orion offended Artemis with his arrogance. C. Artemis' brother disapproved of Orion. D. Artemis and Orion belonged to a rival kingdoms. What tragic event led to Orion's death in the story? A. Orion was killed by a poisonous snake. B. Artemis accidentally shot Orion with an arrow. C. Apollo tricked Artemis into shooting Orion. D. Orion sacrificed himself to save Artemis. How did Artemis honor Orion after his death? A. By turning him into a constellation in the sky. B. By building a grand monument in his memory. C. By composing a song about their love story. D. By seeking revenge on those responsible for his death. What role did Zeus have in Greek mythology? A. God of the sea. B. God of the underground or underworld. C. King of the gods. D. God of war. How did Zeus and Hera become a couple? A. They were childhood sweethearts. B. Zeus won Hera's hand in competition. C. Hera rescued Zeus from a dangerous situation. D. They were arranged to be married by other gods. What was Hera's role in Greek mythology? A. Goddess of love and beauty. B. Goddess of wisdom and warfare. C. Queen of the gods and goddess of marriage. D. Goddess of harvest and fertility. What was the common source of conflict between Zeus and Hera in mythology? A. Zeus's infidelity. B. Hera's jealousy. C. Power struggles for control of Olympus. D. Disputes over the welfare of mortals. How did Zeus and Hera's relationship reflect the societal norms of ancient Greece? A. They had a harmonious and equal partnership. B. Hera held more power and influence than Zeus. C. Zeus was dominant, while Hera played a submissive role. D. They defied traditional gender roles in their relationship. Where did the story of Baucis and Philemon take place? A. Ancient Rome. B. Ancient Greece. C. Ancient Egypt. D. Ancient China. How did Zeus and Hermes test the hospitality of the villagers in the story? A. By pretending to be lost travelers. B. By challenging them to cooking competition. C. By asking for a place to stay for the night. D. By requesting a grand feast to be prepared. What punishment did Zeus and Hermes bring upon the inhospitable villagers? A. They turned them into animals. B. They flooded the village with a storm. C. They caused a plague to spread through the village. D. They destroyed the villagers' crops and livestock. How did Baucis and Polemon demonstrate exceptional hospitality in the story? A. By preparing a lavish banquet for Zeus and Hermes. B. By offering their humble home and simple meal to the guests. C. By showering the guests with expensive gifts and riches. D. By ignoring the guests and refusing them to eat. What reward did Zeus grant Baucis and Polemon for their kindness? A. He granted them eternal youth and immortality. B. He promised them a prosperous harvest every year. C. He offered them a place among the gods on Mount Olympus. D. He blessed them with large fortune and luxurious palace. Who was Hades in Greek mythology? A. The god of the sea. B. God of the underworld. C. God of the sky. D. God of love. How did Hades came to marry Persephone? A. He kidnapped her while she was picking flowers. B. They fell in love at first sight. C. Persephone's parents arranged the marriage. D. Hades won Persephone's hand in a contest. What was the role of Persephone in Greek mythology before she became Hades' wife? A. Goddess of harvest. B. Goddess of love and beauty. C. Goddess of wisdom and warfare. D. Goddess of the moon. What happened to Persephone while she was in the underworld with Hades? She became the queen of the underworld. B. She withered away and died. C. She was forbidden to return to the living world. D. She ruled alongside Hades as a powerful deity. How did Persephone's time in the underworld affect the changing seasons on Earth? A. Her presence brought eternal winter. B. Her return signaled the arrival of spring. C. Her absence caused the world to be engulfed in darkness. D. Her departure marked the beginning of autumn. What is the relationship between Ariadne and Dionysius? A. Siblings. B. Cousins. C. Lovers. D. Friends. Who is known as the god of wine and ecstasy in Greek mythology? A. Apollo. B. Zeus. C. Dionysius. D. Hermes. How did Ariadne help Theseus defeat the Minotaur? A. She gave him a magical sword. B. She provided him with a map of the labyrinth. C. She gave him a thread to find his way out of the labyrinth. D. She distracted the Minotaur with music. What happened to Ariadne after hoping Theseus escaped the labyrinth? A. She married Theseus and Theseus and lived happily ever after. B. She was abandoned by Theseus on an island. C. She became a priestess of Athena. D. She joined the Argonauts in their quest for the Golden Fleece. How did Dionysius meet Ariadne? A. He rescued her from the sea monster. B. He fell in love with her through sea. C. He found her abandoned on the island and took her as his wife. D. He sought her out after hearing of her beauty. Let's now have the answer key for our test questions. Kindly get your pen and paper and check if your answers are correct. Let's begin. Who was the nymph cursed by Hera to only repeat the words of others? The answer is Echo. Next, who is the beautiful youth who fell in love with his own reflection? The answer is Narcissus. What punishment did Nemesis, the goddess of revenge, inflict on Narcissus? Letter A made him fall in love with his own reflection. What did Echo do when Narcissus rejected her love? Cried until she disappeared. What is the moral of the story of Echo and Narcissus? Vanity leads to self-destruction. Who is the sculptor in the story of Pygmalion and Galatea? Answer is Pygmalion. What material did Pygmalion use to create his sculpture? Answer is marble. What happened when Pygmalion kissed his sculpture? It came to life. What name did Pygmalion give to his living sculpture? Galatea. What is the main theme of the story of Pygmalion and Galatea? The power of love and art. In the story of Pyramus and Thisbe, what is the main obstacle preventing the two lovers from being together? A forbidden love. How do Pyramus and Thisbe communicate with each other despite their families' disapproval? Through a small hole in the wall. What tragic event occurs when Pyramus believes Thisbe has been killed? Pyramus takes his own life. What is the symbolic significance of mulberry tree in the story? It represents tragedy and sorrow. What is the moral lesson of the story of Pyramus and Thisbe? Forbidden love leads to tragedy. Who is the god involved in the story of Apollo and Hyacinth? Zeus. What is the relationship between Apollo and Hyacinth? They are friends. How did Hyacinth die in the story? He was struck by a lightning bolt. What flower is said to have grown from the blood of Hyacinth? The flower hyacinth. What did Apollo create to honor Hyacinth after his death? A constellation. Who were Alcyone and Saints in Greek mythology? Alcyone and Saints in Greek mythology. Mortal lovers. What happened to Saints when he embarked on a dangerous sea voyage? He was lost at sea. Which goddess could treaty on Alcyon's grip and transformed her into a bird? Hero. Which bird is Alcyon transformed into the story? Kingfisher. What is the symbolic significance of Alcyon and Say Storm? The power of love and devotion. What was Orpheus known for in the story? His extraordinary musical talent. How did Eurydice die in the story? She was bitten by a snake. What did Orpheus do to try to bring Eurydice back from the dead? made a deal with Hades. What condition did Hades give Orpheus when he agreed to let Eurydice return to the living world? Orpheus must never look back at Eurydice. How did the story of Orpheus and Eurydice end? Orpheus failed to bring Eurydice back and lost her forever. What was Artemis known for in the story? Her skill in archery. How did Orion meet Artemis in the story? Orion saved Artemis from a wild animal. Why did Artemis and Orion's relationship face challenges? Apollo, Artemis's brother, disapproved of Orion. What tragic event led to Orion's death in the story? Apollo tricked Artemis into shooting Orion. How did Artemis honor Orion after his death? By turning him into a constellation in the sky. What role did Zeus have in Greek mythology? King of the gods. How did Zeus and Hera become a couple? Zeus won Hera's hand in competition. What was Hera's role in Greek mythology? Queen of the gods and goddess of marriage. What was the common source of conflict between Zeus and Hera in mythology? Zeus's infidelity. How did Zeus and Hera's relationship reflect the societal norms of ancient Greece? Zeus was dominant while Hera played a submissive role. Where did the story of Baucis and Philemon take place? Ancient Greece. How did Zeus and Hermes test hospitality of the villagers in the story? By pretending to be lost travelers. What punishment did Zeus and Hermes bring upon the inhospitable villagers? They turned them into animals. How did Baucis and Philemon demonstrate exceptional hospitality in the story? By offering their humble home and simple meal to the guests. What reward did Zeus grant Baucis and Philemon for their kindness? He offered them a place among the gods on Mount Olympus. Who was Hades in Greek mythology? God of the underworld. How did Hades come to marry Persephone? He kidnapped her while she was picking flowers. What was the role of Persephone in Greek mythology before she became Hades' wife? Goddess of the harvest. What happened to Persephone while she was in the underworld with Hades? She became the queen of the underworld. How did Persephone's time in the underworld affect the changing seasons on Earth? Her return signaled the arrival of spring. What is the relationship between Ariadne and Dionysus? They are lovers. Who is known as the god of wine and ecstasy in Greek mythology? Dionysus. How did Ariadne help Theseus defeat the Minotaur? She gave him a thread to find his way out in the labyrinth. What happened to Ariadne after helping Theseus escape the labyrinth? She was abandoned by Theseus on an island. How did Dionysus meet Ariadne? He found her abandoned on an island and took her as his wife. So that would be the end of the last question. Kindly total your score. And let's see if you have passed multiple choice test. That would be all. Thank you.